This is Constance Johnson. This little slideshow is a memorial of a mandala that I made for Dikki Joe, and it was created back in July 2021. By using crystals on a geometric mandala, using special particular colors, healing can be sent like a prayer to your friend or family member. By making pictures of it, the mandala can be enjoyed forever. Best wishes to Dikki Joe in her healing from all of us at I Am, Reverend Dr. Constance Johnson. This is Dikki Joe, and I'm sending her a crystal healing. She's been an inspiration to many over the years, helping us with her kind guidance, and now it's our turn to help her in her healing adventure. So I told her about this, and she was interested in seeing what it would be like. So this is a memorial of what I did. I start with a mandala. The mandala in this case is a crocheted work. It happens to be a circle, but it has 13 chevrons in it. And 13 is a specific number that's special to her. And it features the color pink. It's got other pastel colors in there, but the predominant one that's noticeable is pink, the color of loving kindness. Now I'm going to start putting things onto the mandala. And right in the center, I wanted to put this gold-dipped Kabbalah symbol. It was filled with astrological symbols. And it is front and center for everything that Dikki Joe does. And I did find a diagram on the web which shows where those things are placed. It just would not show up in the photo. So you could see what's actually there. So step one, you start in the center. So this is the Kabbalah in place. Although it looks like it's bronze, it was being shy and it refused to be shiny and gold for having its picture taken. Now add a little love with a heart. On top of the gold Kabbalah, I put a rose quartz slab. It's just a slice and it's polished on one side. It has a natural shape that's like a Valentine heart. The shape, the color, and the stone all represent gentle, loving care. Now let's take the center to new heights. On top of the rose quartz heart stands an upright rose quartz specimen with a flat bottom. The message is to take love to a higher level by looking up to spirit. Healing wands all around. I put a special healing wand on each one of the chevrons. They all point in towards the center, but they all have some kind of a termination at both ends. So I'm going to start reading them off to you, starting with the big pink one at the bottom, and we're going to go counterclockwise. The very first one, and it's a dark rose pink, is pink granite. And it is a healing stone. It's meant to be used actually to do massage and acupressure. It's the stone itself, to me, represents sacred space because I have been to Egypt and I've been in the ancient temples. Every one of the temples on the door and the entrance door also, you had to pass through a gate that both sides, the top overhead and the threshold at the bottom, you were stepping through a portal that's made out of the pink granite. And granite is a very stable stone, and it has in it little flecks of quartz, and what it does is it separates the worldly cares of life from sacred space. So when you walk into the temple, and every layer that you go inward to get to the Holy of Holies, you have to go through another one of these. So this is the very first one, and it's pink granite. To its right, we have a sunstone. The sunstone has pinkish colors to it, but it's getting closer towards orange. And it reminds me of the sun as it changes all day long. It looks like it's yellow sometimes, it looks like it's pink, it looks rose, it looks orange like a pumpkin, sometimes it's bright flaming red. It changes. No matter what color it is, it represents pure energy. The next one to the right is tiger eye. It's a golden color, And if you pick that up and you move it so that the light can catch all the little fibers inside, it looks like flashes of lightning going back and forth in it. The tiger is a very, very strong animal. It lives by itself. It lives in the jungle, and it has no master. And the energies of Tiger Eye are kind of the same. They go where they will, and you can direct these energies by respectfully requesting, but it's really strong energy. The next one to the right, we're going to change colorways now. We're going for green. Serpentine is a rather common stone that's found in mountains, and it's a deep emerald green color, and it has little streaks of white through it. It looks like the forest, a deep pine forest, the color of mature trees. And so it's a very grounded color, and at the same time, it's got a lot of life energy, particularly healing and rejuvenation in it. To its right, we have a very pale green stone, Amazonite. It's a rare stone that comes from one of the Caribbean islands, and the energies are very close to the energies of the ocean as well, because ocean at times has a greenish cast to it. So it's a more gentle energy instead of being strong, well planted like the serpentine. To their right, there are two specimens, ruby and zoisite. The zoisite is once again green and ruby is red. So if you look at them, you'll see some polka dots on there. There's a light one and then a dark one. They don't even look like the same stone, but they are. It's just different locations, different minds. So I like the dark energies, which are intense, and then the pastel energies are gentle. Now we are leaving the green color ray. We're getting into blue. So our first one is lapis lazuli. This is Edgar Cayce's favorite stone. It reminds me of the night sky spangled with golden stars because there's little flecks in there of gold. And it's a philosopher's stone. It's a seer stone. It opens the third eye. It lets you access your dreams. It lets you access all kinds of mysteries and hidden information. When you are going through a healing crisis, searching your mind and your spirit for things that you can do to help your body to heal itself is always advisable, and this stone will help you do that. To its right is sodalite. Sodalite is very earthly, whereas lapis is very spiritual. Sodalite reminds me of a businessman's blue pinstripe suit. It's a dark blue. It has either little flecks or stripes of white in it. So this has to do with logical thinking, and that means you do your own research. You have your doctors, but you do your research yourself, and it's your body, it's your life. Do everything you can to help your body in its healing. Now we leave the dark blue and we go to a pure white or non-color stone, which is selenite. Selenite's a rather unusual stone. It's actually fibers of stone put together. And similar, I put it across from the tiger eye because it's not as vibrant of a dancing light inside, but still, as you hold it up to the light will move along those fibers. I use that stone a lot to do energy in linking pieces together. And this time it volunteered. It says, I want to be on the mandala. So I put it there because it is a tool. It's meant to be used to direct energy where you need it to go. And it goes both ways. The energy goes in or the energy comes out. Now we're changing colors ways again. We're getting into purple. It's a chevron amethyst. And if you look at the picture, you can see there's dark, dark purple. There's a very pale lilac, and then there's some other, the chevron pattern repeats itself. There are people who believe the chevron in there gives it extra energy and a little bit of oomph as well as it just being amethyst. Amethyst is not only the crown chakra stone, but it can transmute negativity into positive. People used to think it would take poison and make it where it was not harmful. So this, using energy, doing energy work on your physical body or your light body, it can change any thoughts that you have that are not not at the level you're supposed to be, into higher level. Next, we have a natural specimen of amethyst. It's very dark, looks like a piece of frozen Welchade. It's got the pure energies of the crown chakra. And the very last one is a strange stone called shungite. It comes out of Russia. It has a natural energy in it. I at first thought that might be something that might have been in the presence of somebody doing horrible things like setting off atomic bombs. And it's not the case at all. What it is a natural thing. It's a very, very subtle energy, but scientists with their meters can record this energy and show that it's there. It is used just like amethyst to transmute or neutralize negative energies. And you can take a hold of the energy with it and just throw it out, remove it from inside your aura. This is a healing wand. It's rounded on both ends and it's rounded the whole length. And people could use that to roll it up and down your body just to remove energies that you don't want to have. So that is all of the 13 wands that I put on this mandala for Dikki Joe. Inside of the ring of wands, I put a small ring of Herkimers. Herkimers and Vogelcut crystals amplify energy. So you use it together with something and you want to make that energy really have some power and some pop to it, you can add a Herkimer. The Herkimers are the little fellows there. They're short, they're very clear, and they're double terminated, so the energy's going both ways. The Vogelcuts, the pink rose quartz one, has 6 sides. The clear quartz one has 12 sides. They were designed by a scientist who was testing the use of quartz to send energy for healing purposes. And he found different shapes gave different help. The 6-sided one puts me in mind of the Star of David, which is 2 triangles on top of each other, the up and the down. It's a blending of energies. The 12, that's either the 12 tribes of Israel, or if you're an astrologer, the 12 houses. And it is one Star of David on top of another. It's a second level, takes you to a higher level. All of those are double terminated, so they take the energy from the healing wands, and as it goes into the center, magnify it. Now that I've got everything on there how I want it, I want to do energy work to link the stones together. So the first thing, I lit the incense stick, and I used a rose incense, and that's the little red box there. And I lit it and I took that picture that way because it looks like a little candle. It has the light. It is the light. So I quick did a circle with it that way, and by then it was blown out. So now it's making the smoke. The smoke, according to Native Americans, is our prayers, and we can watch it go up to heaven. And it's a physical manifestation of something that's invisible. I used the owl feather that's there, a barred owl. That's one of my spirit guides. So I used that to raise the incense further. And what I did was I circled it one way clockwise and then counterclockwise, just enveloping the whole circle in sacred energies. Oh yes, the barred owl is, being an owl, keeper of the night, and it's a go-between between the spirit world and the waking world to bring messages back and forth. Now, the final step that I did was take a crystal wand to link the energies together. That wand was a gift to me from Ann and Phil, and it's got 7 pieces glued together, and then it's shaped. It's a 6-sided piece, and it's got one for each color of the chakras. So I would bring the energy into my hand like that, then coming out of the chakra in the palm of my hand, let it go through that and then out the point. So bringing in spiritual light, I pointed it towards that center piece standing up, And then I drew a petal of light around each one of the 13 healing wands. And then finally, once I had done all of that, then I did another circle both ways, clockwise and counterclockwise, linking the outside ends of those healing wands to make a circle going both directions. Now, everybody that knows Dikki knows she's a champion of light. And this is a picture from her website showing her winning first place in a cooking contest. So we're hoping that the energies in this mandala will help to bring that energy forward so that she can win many, many more contests of all kinds. This mandala can last forever as long as there's a picture or a memory. That mandala keeps on working because the energies of it are not just physical anymore. They are now in spirit. And I respectfully submit this. Constance Johnson, A Voice for Spirit.